Lust, Lies, and Polygamy is a movie about a married woman who very much in love with her husband, who's her second marriage, and begins to feel like something is not right. Something is not right with this man who's shown up. He seems to be a prowler at their house, and things aren't adding up. And when she presses her husband about it, he acts strange, and so she starts realizing that their marriage and what's going on is not as she thought it was. That it's deeply flawed. And so there, you can tell by the title what might be happening there, if you know what polygamy means. Uh, what initially attracted you? Oh, and also it's based on a true story about a woman who discovered that in the real story, the woman discovered that her husband was having relationships with lots of different women and was like, it was like what seemed to be this ideal marriage. I think that's the what's similar about the true story and the story that is told in Lust, Lies, and Polygamy is that it seemed like a great marriage. It seemed the guy seemed like a great guy, but there was other things going on. Anyway, question number 2. What initially attracted you to the storyline in Lust, Lies, and Polygamy? I'm from the Midwest, and in the Midwest, people are more culturally seem to be more concerned with appearances and how they present themselves socially. So when I read a Henry James novel, even though that's very from like the 1800s and is a kind of cultural part of life that doesn't exist anymore, I can relate to it to a certain extent. So having things not be as they appear really reverberates with me based on like what my childhood. So I was very curious and intrigued by the story, but also too, I always love stories where women have to figure out who they are. Like when things aren't as they seem and like the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, you have to take a moment and really look at who you are. And that's very empowering. And that was in the story too. So I like that a lot. What do you think makes the action in the movie so special and captivating? Well, I think anything that involves intrigue or tension and action with somebody who is in your own house and is somebody who you're intimate with is very high stakes, lots of tension, because I'm sorry, what do you think makes it? So I think that's what makes the action and so captivating is that she has to figure out how to what's happening with her husband and how to deal with it. And it's very close to home. So she can't, at some point she locks the front door, she changes the locks. But up until then, we're wondering, how do you handle that in a marriage that is lies? How do you confront that? How do you uncover the lies and how do you resolve it? So that's very captivating, at least to me. What do you hope audiences take away from watching Lust, Lies, and Polygamy? Well, I always hope that they feel drawn in, intrigued, and entertained. But I hope they also get. I hope they also think about how appearances aren't always true. That you can't always judge a book by its cover. People, men and women, but in this case, a man can be very charming, very convincing in lots of ways, but not be actually who he says he is or being true to what he's pretending to espouse. And I always think that's a good thing to remember, that that you need to scratch the surface. You need to look deeper at people to see who they really are. I wouldn't wish this on anybody else, having their husband do that, but I always think it's a good thing to really think about who people really are. Question number 5. What was it like working with the rest of the cast and crew on set? We had so much fun on this shoot. Um, I have the crew on it, the director of photography, the assistant director, the line producer, I'm thinking also a bunch of the crew were people I've worked with on a bunch of films, a lot of films. So we know each other very well. And my cinematographer or DP and I have a shorthand way of talking, and there's lots of fun and joking. It's very lively, fun set. The actors were all, every one of them, incredibly talented. I just got so lucky. Alicia Mason, who plays the lead, I had worked with her on 2 other movies. She had played smaller parts, but she's so good. And I thought, oh, she is a leading lady, and I'd like to direct her in a movie where she is the main female part. And so it was very exciting to get a chance to work with her that way. She's just really a nuanced, open, receptive actress, and so I really enjoyed that. They all were so good. They all were so easy to direct, to give notes and see the difference in their performance, and they were all so lovely and fun on set. And that doesn't always happen. And so when it does, it makes for a really good shoot. Number 6, what can you tease about the character's journey? I feel like when I first read the first draft of the script, I wanted, after reading it, I wanted the main character, the female character, to be more, to be smarter, to be more like figuring stuff out. But I also wanted to see, when you love somebody and you're in love with somebody, it's really hard to accept seeing bad things about them at first. And I definitely believed in how she would get strong and stand up to him, but I wanted to see that journey of her grappling with accepting the truth, because I think we all have trouble even when it's put right in front of us, saying, oh yes, but maybe, I wanted that to be part of her journey. Number 7, what was your favorite scene or moment while directing Lust, Lies, and Polygamy? I have to say that I loved filming the fight sequence and getting that broken vase. It's really fun. I've done a bunch of movies, and where you see the tension between the characters in the moment, and that's really fun to do. But I like doing the action sequences a lot too. It's really fun to shoot. And that fight scene where she grabs the vase and she smashes it across his head, we had to shoot that a bunch of different ways, and I really enjoyed that. And the actors did such a good job every time. I also like doing the scene where he's at the door, and she and the daughter are against the wall. That was fun, trying to figure out how to create tension with that, and getting the shot up on the door handle rattling, then to pull focus onto them standing there. So I like that a lot. Can you tease anything about your next project? I mean, this I think is like share. I think you mean by tease. I am working on a film essay about liminal space, liminal states of being in modern life. That is a film essay. So I've been working on that and that is one of my own projects. I'm also working on a narrative film that's something I would like to direct independently. But I'm also talking to 2 production companies about other thrillers, and I really can't say anything more about what they're about or what they would be, but hopefully be shot. One of them will be shot by the end of the year, I'm hoping, and the other probably at the beginning of next year.